What up, sexy world travelers? It's your boy, Big Sexy, here with a big thank you to our big, sexy world travelers. They're the folks who went over to bullwiththebutthole.com and subscribe to the podcast. I want to say a big shout out to Billy with cruisehabit.com, Lee Popsicle, Margaret White, Angel Quo, Bree, Chris Lowry, Dalen Diggs, Jesus, Joshua Tarr, Michael McKenna, Sebastian Robbins, and Smitty Scoop. If you would like to have your name read out before the show, just become a big, sexy world traveler and subscribe to the podcast. Swing on over to bullwiththebutthole.com and join the fun. Safe travels.
Want cruise information, tips, tours, and more? Check out cruisehabit.com/BSDN. Please, it's all I know anything about. What kind of weirdo digital nomads from cruise ships? Well, when I'm not being hypnotized by Judgmentalist or serenaded with custom parodies by Big Sexy, I'm thinking about, talking about, and writing about cruising. Check out ship tours, cruise tips, and even join us on a group cruise by visiting cruisehabit.com/BSDN. Come talk ship with us. Again, that's cruisehabit.com/BSDN. Thanks for listening. Safe travels.
What up, sexy world travelers? It's your boy, Big Sexy. Here on another episode of Big Sexy Nomad. Thank you for joining me. Today I'm going to talk about a possible wonderful update, my future health plan, and as always, we'll do a daily task. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever this is in your ear holes. I hope that it is good. I recently talked to several people who tell me they still listen to the podcast. And so if I know I have ears, I'll keep doing this. So thank you guys for letting me know you're still paying attention. As you know, I had a stroke April of last year, and recovery has been tough. There's been progress. I made enough progress that I can return to doing this podcast. But physically, I have not progressed as fast as I hoped. The next part of my treatment is I need to get hyperbaric chamber treatment. I thought I was going to do that last month. Hopefully, we can afford to do it this month. The main issue is the price. It's an expensive amount. I need 10 sessions. That's going to run just over $1,000 USD. And since I don't have any income, and my wife pays all the bills, funding is tough. So always I'm looking for angel investors and assist with my GoFundMe. I do have a GoFundMe. You can find it by messaging me directly. The link is always in every description on the videos or the audio of every episode of the podcast. Since I started the GoFundMe, I recently posted an update asking for assistance Also, I'm purchasing an electric wheelchair. And to my surprise, I did have a friend reach out, and they didn't say I can name them, so I won't name them. However, I may have the opportunity to acquire a celebrity wheelchair if I can figure out how to get it from the U.S. to Vegas. I mean, U.S. to Mexico. Because it's an electric wheelchair, it's heavy. So I'm waiting to hear back from DHL, customer service, to find out the exact amount of cost to have the item shipped to me here. If I get it, holy shit, will I be happy as a pig in slop. It would be so amazing. It's a really good wheelchair. And uh, it's been on stage, and I love being on stage, so it makes sense. So fingers and toes, and if I could, my nose. In the meantime, I still do my physical therapy. I've talked to my physical therapist, so every other day I'm doing flexibility and mobility exercises. And on the off days, I'm doing strength training. And Sunday is a day of rest. I think Saturday is becoming a day of rest too. It's a day I kind of get caught up on all the admin stuff that I need to take care of while Nilla works. Also, if I can get people to come visit me, Saturday is the best day to do it. We had a mahjong tournament last night. Oh, man, I got my ass handed to me. I didn't win one single mahjong. Not one, and that's rare. I usually get one or two, but I was one tile away every single hand. And if I had mahjong, it'd be good points, usually. Vanilla dominated the night. Uh, Indigo and Isak were the other two competitors. So thank you to both of them for coming out. Unfortunately, Lolo was going to come too, but she was too late. We had a really good time. I'm looking forward to regular mahjong tomorrow. We have some new people, so I get to teach, and then play, and hopefully I get a couple mahjongs tomorrow. Again, fingers, toes, and if I could, my nose. So I want to say a big shout out to my friends who have really been there for me recently. I think I'm going to make this a regular part of my episode where I shout out the people who either come by or communicated with me, because this is a very hard thing to do, and I'm thankful I don't have to do it alone. So I want to give a special thanks to Raina, Magda, Julia, Sandra, who messaged me a message recently, Emily, and of course Indigo Isaac Lolo. I think that's everybody who came by or messaged me directly. Just Hasna and Hasna. Who messaged Amani. I need to write these things down because my memory ain't the best thing. And this joke doesn't help at all. I don't know if you've been watching, but I still keep up with my big sexy recovery question of the day. And I'm currently looking for more questions. So if you're hearing this, please send me a message and give me a couple questions that I can do for the Big Sex Recovery question of the day. They're basically questions about, philosophy type stuff. What do you think about this? Or personal relationship. Like, for instance, today's question is, what's the scariest thing about being close to another person? If you want to see my answer, check out my Instagram at whoisbigsexy or my TikTok at whoisbigsexy and look for the post. I do it 6 days a week. I take a break on Sundays. I use this game. It's called Tonight by by Caitlin B. Shout out to my friend Kissa, who gave me these. I've gone through the entire deck once before. I'm about one quarter of the way left in my second time around. That's why I'm asking for questions. I don't want to go through it a third. I have used AI before when leaving here. I didn't want to take this with me, so ChatGPT gave me about 24 questions. And then I picked from those. A lot of the questions are good or make sense for me to answer, but I did pick from those. Speaking of AI, all right, let's get into it. As you know, I released an album called Just the Lyrics, Volume 1. Now, I used AI for the music and the vocals, mainly because, one, you hear my voice. This is not a dulcet tone singing voice. I can't sing like I used to. But I really wanted to get my music out there. Now, if I could find real musicians and real singers to sing my words, that's more ideal to me. However, people are fucking flaky. And while I've reached out to folks, no one has followed through. People said they would, or said they wanted to, but every time they've let me down. You know who doesn't let me down? AI. I use a Suno app, shout out to Suno, wish they'd be a sponsor, to do my music. I love the work it does. It's amazing. My friends love their songs because, as you know, I write songs for people. I've written a lot of songs for a lot of folks. So many, in fact. My next album is going to be not a double album. I'm going to release 2 albums in September. Just Lyrics Volume 2, Dedications, and Just Lyrics Volume 2, the B-Sides. Which should be Just Lyrics Volume 1, the B-Sides. But it might be called Just Lyrics Volume 2, Volume 1 B-Sides. I think that's it. You hear it live happening in my head right now. Congratulations. You're on the spot. Big Sexy Bear White. Just Lyrics Volume 2, the Volume 1 B-Sides. I do a lot of songs, so I give a big shout out to the Suno app for helping me out. And I don't ever perpetrate like it's really me doing the music or the vocals. I mentioned in the very introduction, these songs were created with the Suno app. Big Sexy wrote every word, sung and spoken, just the lyrics. That's why they're called what they are. And there's a big debate of tons of people saying they hate AI, and I get it in terms of visual products and advertisements. I am making a music video for my song Do the Big Sexy, and I'm using a real life editor, my friend Alexa. Shout out to Alexa, who also has a song I made for her. It's coming together nicely. It's going to be amazing. Stay tuned for that. I'll post that on the Patreon first as soon as it's ready. Patreon will get it a week before the public. So if you want to see it, go to bullwiththebutthole.com and sign up for the Patreon. I believe the music video tier will just be the second, I mean the first paid tier, which I believe is only $1 a month. It might be $2. I'm not sure. But I also want to give a shout out to all my Patreon members because you're also helping me with this recovery financially. So I really appreciate all of you. But stay tuned for the music. And I'm working on Volume 3 and Volume 4. Volume 3 is going to be Neo's Soul Moments. Volume 4 will be Sexy Moments. Big Sexy Bear White, just the lyrics. The Sexy Chronicles. Yep, I think that's what I'm going to call it. Look at that. 2 album names in 1 episode. Ooh, I'm on fire. Put me out. I'm smoking. Look at me go. Music has become probably my favorite part of life right now is making songs. Today I made a stupid song for my wife who gave me the idea to write a song about, well, because I only have one good hand, which means I only wipe with one. This is going to be gross, so just get ready. My wife calls my right hand doodle fingers because I wipe my butt with my right hand. And when she helps me shower, she always grabs my right hand and says, let me get them doodle fingers. And so I asked her the last time, not the last time, but the second to last time, we did our State of the Union. And if you want to know what that is, swing on over to Rainbow Dreamcatcher, the Love Podcast, and hear our episode all about the State of the Union. Anyhow, I did ask her to give me song ideas, and she said, doodle fingers. So I wrote a song today about doodle fingers. Not quite about doodle fingers, but it says doodle fingers in the chorus, which might just become the episode title. So I really enjoy being creative and making those songs. So thank you. If you made it this far, I appreciate you. Now we're going to go into the Daily Passport. Daily Passport. Today's Daily Passport. The 10 airport mistakes that are costing you hundreds. I'm pretty sure I make a bunch of airport mistakes. I hope it's not costing me too much money. But let me see what they say. Sorry, guys, I didn't have this queued up ahead of time, and now it's made a boo head. Okay. Number one makes complete sense. Arriving at the airport too late. If you arrive at the airport too late, you miss your flight. You miss your flight, you gotta book a new one. That can cost you so much money. We've been very lucky. We were traveling back from the US to Mexico, and at the border crossing, due to a shooting on the freeway in Riverside County, we were very late. I think I talked about this in a previous episode. Well, I talked about making it back, but we were late to the airport. Now, Viva Airbus, they always have my support because the lady was able to get us on another flight same day. No extra charge. But there have been times we missed the flight and it costs a lot of money. So, if you don't be late. However early you think you should be, add 1 hour. Okay. The next one, ignoring airline check-in and bag drop deadlines. Pay attention to when you gotta have your stuff checked in by. Again, that comes with getting there early so you have time to do that. If you're there very early, you'll make the deadline no problem. Sometimes people get there too early and you gotta wait with your luggage. That's much better than missing it altogether. All right, next one. Not weighing or checking your bags in advance. Woo, doggy. We were coming from back from Spain, and we had a lot of luggage. And I remember we were heading to the airport. We're heading to the train to get to Madrid to fly to Mexico. And we had our baggage, and we weighed them, and they were too heavy. So we had to get rid of a bunch of shit and move stuff around. Thank you to our friend Jana, who helped us out that night. That was very stressful. So check the weights ahead of time if you can. And that way when you pack, look, people try to pack the day off. I said pack the day before, know the weight. Uh, it's always easier if you know the weight. Don't get to the airport and have them tell you it's overweight because then you gotta pay extra. This one is a doozy for international travel. Exchanging money at the airport. You get the worst exchange rates in the airport. If you're in a new country and you need to exchange funds, get out of the airport and into the city. Find a local bank and they'll do it for you. The better option is to get yourself a card that you can do that will do the exchange rate for you. For example, we use Revolut. If we get Revolut, it's perfect because you put money in the Revolut account, exchange it over for Mexican pesos, or when we're in Spain, change it over for euros, and it gives you the highest exchange rate at the time, and then you have the currency you need on a card you can use. Then if you need to go to an ATM and withdraw the funds in the home country's in that country's currency. That's the best excuse me, option to avoid paying stupid, losing money at the exchange rate. Oh, really? That's one that I didn't expect. Automatically renting a car from the airport. Now, I did just learn recently that renting from or to an airport does tend to be more expensive than renting from within the city. They charge you for the convenience because they know you're going to need a car, and airports have tons of them. And they charge you extra and they gouge you for that. Um, a lot of times, you may pay between $50 and $100 more for a rental than you would if you rented it outside of the airport. Ooh, this one says pay for airport lounge access the wrong way. Airport lounges can absolutely be worth the cost of entry, especially during long delays. Travelers who pay $50 or more for a one-time lounge pass without checking your existing benefits may be spending money unnecessarily. In some cases, lounge access can actually save more money by replacing the expensive airport meals, drinks, and Wi-Fi purchases. Check your credit cards to see if you get lounge access beforehand. Okay, I don't think we'll go through all 10. I just want to give one more. And that's one that you think where you're going to save money, but you don't. And that's shopping at the duty free. Now, when you browse duty free, uh, they're tempting because who doesn't love a deal? But in reality, the products there aren't always cheaper. There's always a huge markup. Even though you're not paying taxes on it, they mark up the product to make the difference. So don't shop at duty free unless you absolutely have to. So those are just some of the mistakes people make. They cost them money in airports. Don't make those mistakes. Sexy travelers, you are a smart bunch. I know you are because you listen to me. And you love me. And loving me is a smart thing to do. Therefore, travel smartly. If you want more travel tips, if you enjoy this part of the program, let me know. Shoot me an email, bigsexynomad@gmail.com. And let me know if you like the travel tips. As this podcast is about travel and my experience, I want there to be a portion where you get something for listening. Not just an update on how I'm doing, but something you can take with you and use in the real world. I hope you find it helpful and useful, and I'm going to keep doing that. So if you want to subscribe and help out, again, go on over to our Patreon page at bullatthebutthole.com, where you join the Patreon family And if I get new subscribers, I'll have to re-record the introduction, which should be interesting since I don't have the same voice. But I'll do it for you because I love you. Thank you all for listening, and I'll talk to you again soon. In the meantime, safe travel.